Long ago, when gods ruled over the earth, a goddess promised to always protect humanity and take care of her people. To fulfill this promise, she used her special power known as Cosmo and created a group of warriors called knights. These knights became the protectors of humans and used the goddess's Cosmo power to fight enemies and defeat them with ease. But as centuries passed, humans slowly forgot about the gods and goddesses. Their existence became nothing more than myths and fairy tales. People started believing that these divine beings were never real. However, after 18 years, the same goddess was reborn in human form. During this time, a golden knight sacrificed his life to save the young girl who carried the goddess's soul. The story then moves to the present day, where a young man named Seiya struggles to survive on the streets. He has no home and spends his days searching for his missing elder sister. The only thing he has left of her is her memory and a picture that he always keeps with him. One day, while Seiya is looking at his sister's picture, the owner of a fighting arena approaches him. He tells Seiya that his next fight has arrived and he needs to enter the ring. Before Seiya enters, the owner warns him that this is not a normal performance. He must actually fight because the opponent waiting for him is extremely dangerous and powerful. There are no rules in this battle, and the fight will only end when one person gives up. The loser will never be allowed to return to the arena again. Seiya enters the ring and faces his opponent. The fighter is so eager to fight that he pushes the referee aside, and the battle begins immediately. However, Seiya does not attack. He only focuses on defending himself as the powerful fighter continuously throws punches and kicks at him. Every strike forces Seiya to move backward, and soon he falls to the ground while the opponent keeps attacking him. The ring owner becomes frustrated after seeing Seiya refuse to fight. He enters the arena himself and launches a powerful kick at the opponent, sending him flying across the ring. Now Seiya faces the owner. Instead of fighting, Seiya starts backing away, but the owner grabs him and punishes him for ignoring his instructions. He hits Seiya several times and throws him away with a powerful kick. When Seiya tries to attack, the owner easily catches him and throws him aside like he is nothing. He keeps dragging Seiya toward the net while shouting that he told him to fight, but Seiya never tried. Seiya is already badly injured and does not have enough strength to fight back. The crowd starts cheering for the owner, believing Seiya has lost. But while lying there, Seiya starts thinking about his missing sister. The memories give him the strength to keep going, and suddenly something strange happens. A powerful energy begins flowing out of his body. The amount of Cosmo energy released from Seiya is so powerful that it throws the owner far away. The owner gets back up and everyone believes he has won because Seiya cannot stand. He is declared the champion. But suddenly, Seiya forces himself up and delivers a powerful kick, knocking the owner down. After that, he escapes from the arena. Seiya reaches the locker room and begins collecting his belongings because he wants to leave this place forever. But before he can leave, a man approaches him and says that someone wants to meet him. The man tells Seiya that this person knows everything about his past, including what happened to his missing sister, and he might be able to help him find her. Meanwhile, the owner of the arena contacts someone and reveals that he has discovered a boy with incredible Cosmo power. Soon, Seiya is taken to a hidden location where he meets a wealthy businessman who is also a warrior. The warrior explains that his wife Vendor is extremely powerful and controls many warriors with special abilities. He reveals that Vendor has chosen a dangerous path to achieve her goals, which is why he abandoned her. Now she is coming back with her warriors to fight him, and Seiya must choose whether he wants to stand with the right side or the wrong side. Seiya decides to help him, but before they can prepare, Vendor's soldiers arrive and attack. The enemy warriors are incredibly strong, defeating anyone who tries to stop them. They destroy everything in their path and soon turn their attention towards Seiya and the warrior. To survive, both of them escape from the location while Vendor's soldiers chase after them. Just when they are about to be caught, a pilot arrives and saves them. The pilot attacks the pursuing soldiers, rescues Seiya and the warrior, and takes them away in a vehicle. For a short time, they believe they are safe, but the enemies continue following them. They launch constant attacks, firing bombs and missiles because their main target is Seiya. The reason they want to capture him is because they witnessed the Cosmo power that came out of his body during the fight. To escape, they enter a tunnel, but Vendor's soldiers continue attacking them with bullets and missiles. Despite everything, they somehow manage to survive and get away. Seiya is still confused and demands answers. He wants to know why all of this is happening and why everyone is after him. The warrior orders his pilot to make Seiya unconscious so that he can understand the truth through his memories. While unconscious, Seiya remembers his childhood. He sees his sister hiding him inside a closet and telling him not to come out no matter what happens. As she closes the closet door, a huge explosion occurs and the door locks itself. Moments later, soldiers enter their house carrying weapons and explosives. They search everywhere and eventually capture Seiya's sister. During this memory, Seiya also sees Vendor, realizing she was connected to his past. When Seiya wakes up, he finds himself inside an aircraft with the warrior and the pilot. Still confused, he demands to know the truth. The warrior explains that he was once a successful businessman before becoming a warrior. He then reveals the history of the goddess and explains that she was reborn as a human. Now, Seiya's mission is to protect this goddess because he possesses the courage and power needed to become her guardian. Seiya refuses to believe him and tries to leave, but when the warrior mentions his sister, he stops. The warrior explains that Vendor and her soldiers came to Seiya's house because they detected a powerful cosmos signal. His sister hid him inside the closet to save his life and prevent Vendor from finding him. After revealing this truth, the warrior introduces Seiya to Sienna, his daughter. But Sienna is not an ordinary girl. She is the human reincarnation of the goddess. She gives Seiya a special box containing an armor locket. This armor is a powerful metal suit that can cover his entire body and increase his abilities. Sienna explains that without this armor, Seiya will never be able to defeat Vendor's powerful soldiers. Seiya was still struggling to believe everything he had heard, so the warrior decided to give him some time. He tells Seiya that they should eat first, and once his mind is calm, they will continue their discussion. Meanwhile, Vendor goes to the owner of the fighting ring with one of her special soldiers. She becomes furious with him and blames him for letting Seiya escape. She tells him that because of his mistake, they lost their chance to capture Seiya. If he had used his mind properly that day, Seiya would have been with them already. Later, Seiya, Sienna, and her father, the warrior, sit together at the table and have a meal. While eating, Sienna becomes impressed by Seiya because he finishes every bit of food on his plate and does not waste anything. Seiya explains that this is normal for people who live on the streets. They eat as much as they can whenever they get food because they never know when they will get their next meal. Soon, the pilot arrives and takes the warrior away for some important work, leaving Seiya and Sienna alone. During this time, Seiya talks with Sienna and asks her how she feels knowing that she is actually a goddess. Sienna tells him that she is not a goddess yet. She explains that when the right time comes, she will fully become one, but this truth troubles her because she does not know if she can handle such a responsibility. While she is talking, suddenly her condition begins to change. Her power starts becoming unstable, and a purple-colored cosmo energy begins flowing out of her body. The entire area around her starts becoming dark as her energy spreads everywhere. The pressure of this power becomes painful for Sienna, and she starts losing control. At that moment, Sienna's father, the pilot, and some soldiers rush inside, but they cannot withstand the force of her cosmo energy and are thrown away by the power. Seeing Sienna suffering, Seiya tries to approach her, but the warrior stops him and warns him not to go near her because he could die. After some time, the energy disappears and Sienna returns to normal. Seiya immediately asks what happened to her. Sienna's father explains that she is the second human form of the goddess, but the problem is that her body is still human. A normal human body cannot easily handle the enormous cosmo power of a goddess. To hide her energy from Vendor, the security system of the building detects the cosmos signal and creates a barrier around the place so that the energy cannot escape and Vendor cannot discover Sienna's location. However, Sienna feels trapped and tells Seiya that she feels like a prisoner. She has everything but she is forced to live her life locked away because of her powers. Meanwhile, at the fighting arena, the owner of the ring battles against one of Vendor's soldiers. Both fighters stand against each other and fight with full strength. The soldier is wearing powerful armor, but the owner of the ring still manages to challenge him. Seeing his abilities, Vendor realizes that the ring owner is strong, but he is still not powerful enough to defeat Seiya. Because of this, Vendor decides to use her latest technology armor on him. Elsewhere, Seiya and Sienna continue talking, and Sienna remembers the day when she was a small child. At that time, some people were trying to kill her, but a golden knight sacrificed himself and saved her life. Sienna explains that because she is the second birth of the goddess, she is not the real daughter of Vendor and her husband. They only adopted her. Her mother Vendor was always focused on her technology and her goals, while her father was the one who truly cared for her and raised her like a daughter. Seiya then tells Sienna about his own sister and says that she was also very brave. She always protected him and took care of him. After sharing their memories, both of them understand each other's pain. This gives Seiya a new goal. He decides that if he wants to become a true knight, he needs proper training. By learning to control his cosmo power from the Silver Knight, he can become stronger and also find his missing sister. Meanwhile, Vendor's special soldier questions her decision to use the new technology on the owner of the ring. Vendor explains that this technology is necessary because without it, they will never be able to find Seiya or defeat him. This armor will help them track Seiya's location, and because the process is dangerous, she chose the ring owner as the subject. The next morning, Seiya prepares to leave for his training. Before leaving, Sienna gives him a large amount of food. The two look at each other quietly, and it feels like they are beginning to develop feelings for each other. When Seiya sits inside the plane, The pilot tells him not to expect too much from Sienna because a goddess cannot live a normal life. She cannot have ordinary relationships or love someone like a normal human. This surprises even Sienna's father, and he asks her why she gave Seiya food. Sienna replies that maybe this could be his last meal because the training he is going for is extremely dangerous. Training under the Silver Knight is not easy, and it could even cost him his life. Soon, Seiya and the pilot reach their destination. Seiya asks where he needs to go next. The pilot points toward a huge mountain rock, explaining that Seiya has to climb it. Seiya begins climbing the mountain, but during his journey, a powerful storm arrives. Despite the harsh weather, he continues climbing until he finally reaches the top and meets the Silver Knight. Seiya introduces himself and explains that he is also a knight, but he has not come to prove himself. He has come to receive training. The Silver Knight tells him that if he truly is a knight, then he should already know his first responsibility. A knight's duty is to protect the goddess who is living in human form, meaning Sienna. Hearing this, Seiya becomes confused because he came here to become stronger, control his cosmo power, and find his sister, not to protect a goddess. Because of this, the Silver Knight refuses to train him. Seiya realizes his mistake and apologizes. He asks for another chance and promises that he will try. The Silver Knight then gives him a test. She tells him to break a small stone placed in front of him. Seiya gathers his strength and punches the stone, but instead of breaking it, he only injures his own hand. The Silver Knight explains that everything around them is made from special materials. A true knight can destroy these things instantly and turn them into dust by using cosmo power. She tells Seiya that he must stop relying only on physical strength. He needs to focus inside himself and awaken his cosmo. Seiya tries to concentrate, but memories of his sister keep distracting him. Still, he continues trying. Seeing his determination, the Silver Knight finally agrees to train him. At the same time, inside Vender's facility, the transformation of the ring owner is complete. Vender's new technology has changed his body into a powerful machine-like warrior covered completely in armor. The ring owner is amazed by his new body and wants to test his strength. He fights against Vender's soldiers and defeats them easily. However, when he tries to challenge Vender herself, he realizes that even with his new power, he is still nothing compared to her. Back at the training ground, Seiya keeps trying to improve, but the Silver Knight defeats him every time. She does not allow him to land even a single attack and easily throws him away. During one battle, she lifts Seiya into the air and uses her power to make all the stones around them float. Then she brings Seiya down and explains that Cosmo is his true strength. She tells him that if he wants to survive and fight in the future, he must understand his power and learn how to use it in battle. Meanwhile, Sienna has a nightmare where she sees her Cosmo power becoming uncontrollable. Her energy destroys everything around her, and the entire world burns because of her. Terrified by the dream, she wakes up screaming. Her father quickly comes to her and asks what happened. Sienna tells him that she saw a nightmare where the entire world was destroyed, and she was the reason behind it because of the goddess's power inside her. On the other side, the Silver Knight's words begin changing Seiya. He becomes more focused and starts fighting seriously. Day by day his training improves. During training, he keeps remembering his sister, who tells him that she is always with him and will protect him during both good and bad times. One night, while talking with the Silver Knight, she tells Seiya that she understands his painful past, but for now, he must put those emotions aside and prepare himself for the moment when he will truly need his power. The next morning, Seiya continues his training and shows great improvement. Day after day, he becomes stronger, and finally the moment arrives when he manages to defeat the Silver Knight. His attack sends her flying away, making Seiya realize how much he has grown. After that, he easily breaks the stone with one strike. He continues training every day until he finally gains complete control over his Cosmo power. Then the Silver Knight places a much larger stone in front of him. Seiya focuses his energy and attacks it with full power. The stone breaks into pieces and turns into dust. At that moment, his armor locket rises into the air. It begins expanding and transforming into a powerful armor suit. The armor grows larger and slowly covers Seiya's entire body. His Cosmo energy starts flowing around him, and Seiya finally becomes a true knight. But suddenly he feels a sharp pain in his head and remembers a shocking truth. He sees the day when Vender kidnapped his sister and notices that Vender's husband was also present there. Seiya realizes that the warrior who helped him might also be connected to his sister's kidnapping. Filled with anger, Seiya immediately returns to the warrior's home because he wants answers. As soon as he arrives, the pilot and the soldiers try to stop him, but Sienna appears. She grabs Seiya's hand, takes him away, and brings him somewhere far on a motorcycle. There, Sienna explains that her father did everything for the sake of saving his sister. At that time, Seiya's sister was just a child and could not control her Cosmo power. Sienna then reveals her own past. When she was young, her power suddenly exploded, and because of it, one of Vender's arms was destroyed. Her father used the technology of golden armor to repair Vender's arm, but this had a terrible side effect. Since then, Vendor has needed Cosmo energy to survive. That is why Vendor started searching for children who possessed Cosmo power. Vendor originally kidnapped Seiya's sister because she believed the power was inside her, but later discovered that the true Cosmo power was actually inside Seiya. From that moment, Vendor began hunting Seiya instead. Although Vendor discovered that Seiya's sister did not have the power she wanted, she still kept her safe because her life was in danger. Everyone believed Seiya's sister was hiding something, but the truth was that she was only hiding Seiya. Later, Siena's father discovered that the goddess had been reborn, so he freed all the kidnapped children, including Seiya's sister. He knew that the goddess's Cosmo power would be enough for Vendor. Suddenly, the pilot arrives and tells Siena's father that Vendor is coming toward them with her entire army. He says he will stay behind and fight alone while everyone else must escape. Before leaving, Siena asks Seiya to promise her something. She tells him that if she ever loses control of her powers, he must stop her no matter what happens. Seiya agrees to protect her and keep his promise. While they are talking, Vendor's ships arrive at their location, forcing everyone to escape. However, Siena cannot leave her father behind, so she decides to return to the house. As soon as she reaches there, a huge explosion occurs and Vendor's soldiers begin entering the building. They quickly attack the guards, defeat them easily, and destroy the entire security system. Meanwhile, when the pilot tries to reach the aircraft, Vendor's soldiers block his way and a dangerous battle begins between them. At the same time, Vendor arrives and meets her husband. While they talk about their past and everything that happened between them, Seiya and Siena arrive at the location. The robotic owner of the ring also appears and immediately attacks Vendor's husband. Although he tries to fight back, the robotic warrior is extremely powerful and easily overpowers him. He grabs him, throws him against the wall repeatedly, and continues attacking him until he falls unconscious. Outside, Siena starts fighting Vendor's soldiers. She uses her strength and attacks them one after another, sending them flying away. She jumps into the air and delivers a powerful attack that knocks multiple soldiers down at once. During this battle, the owner of the ring turns his attention towards Seiya and starts fighting him. Seiya tries to activate his armor, hoping it will cover his body, but for some reason he cannot summon it. Before he can figure out why, the owner of the ring attacks him. Siena tries to fight the robotic warrior without using armor, but she cannot stand against his strength for long. At the same time, the pilot defeats the remaining soldiers, reaches his plane and quickly escapes from the area. Vendor's husband tries to stop his wife by creating massive explosions around her, but none of his attacks work. The entire area is destroyed, yet Vendor remains unharmed because her power is far beyond anything he expected. Meanwhile, Seiya is also defeated by the owner of the ring and is thrown far away. The explosion created by Vendor's husband becomes fatal, and he loses his life. After this, Vendor's soldiers capture Siena and take her away. Vendor takes Siena back to her own building, but when Siena learns that her father is dead, she becomes heartbroken and starts crying. Vendor places Siena in a special chamber because she plans to kill her. Even though Vendor is her mother, she feels sadness and pain because she is about to sacrifice her own daughter. She believes this is necessary to save humanity, so she orders her special assistant to begin the process immediately. Meanwhile, Seiya regains consciousness and starts looking around. When he realizes Siena is gone, he becomes devastated. He feels guilty because protecting Siena was his responsibility, yet he failed to keep her safe. At that moment, he remembers the Silver Knight's words about who he truly needs to protect. When Seiya focuses, he remembers his childhood and understands his purpose. He decides that he must protect himself first, then protect Siena, and once he finds his sister, he will protect her as well. With this new determination, Seiya returns and joins the pilot to rescue Siena. As they approach Vendor's building, the enemies detect them and immediately begin attacking their aircraft. The plane loses control because of the heavy attacks, forcing them to jump out. Before jumping, Seiya finally manages to activate his armor. The armor covers his entire body, allowing him to land safely on the ground as a true knight. Now with his full power awakened, Seiya starts fighting exactly as he always wanted. Vendor's soldiers rush toward him, but he defeats them effortlessly. He takes down multiple soldiers in seconds and then faces the robotic owner of the ring. The battle becomes intense as Seiya attacks him repeatedly, damaging his mechanical body and destroying many parts of his armor. Finally, Seiya defeats him and makes him fall to the ground. At the same time, the process to kill Siena begins. Vendor watches everything and starts realizing that she is making the wrong decision. She understands that she cannot sacrifice her own daughter, so she orders her assistant to stop the process immediately. However, her assistant refuses and continues the procedure. Vendor orders her soldiers to stop him, but then the assistant reveals his true form. He transforms into a powerful knight because he was also wearing armor. With a single attack, he destroys the soldiers standing in his way. It is revealed that he was once a powerful and good warrior, but over time the demons weakened him and changed him. Now with his original strength restored, he easily defeats the remaining soldiers. Seeing his power, Vendor tries to activate her abilities and confront him, but she is no match for him. He grabs Vendor and throws her away effortlessly because her power is nothing compared to his. The knight attacks Vendor with his dangerous powers and is about to kill her, but Seiya arrives and stops him. A new battle begins between Seiya and the powerful knight. Their fight takes them to the top of the building, where both of their bodies release enormous amounts of cosmo energy. They attack each other with equal strength, and every strike creates massive destruction around them. Their kicks and punches are so powerful that nearby buildings begin breaking apart. They fly through the air and continue fighting without either side gaining an advantage. Their final clash creates a huge explosion, but neither of them is seriously harmed. Only the surrounding area suffers destruction. At that moment, Vendor uses the remaining strength she has left and stops the process. Meanwhile, Sienna finally awakens. Her body begins floating in the air as the goddess inside her starts emerging. A knight tries to stop her, but she easily grabs him and throws him away with her overwhelming power. Using her connection with Seiya, Sienna reaches out to him and reminds him of his promise. She reminds him that he promised he would stop her if she ever lost control. Seiya approaches her and tells her that if they truly want to, they can change their destiny. Hearing his words, Sienna becomes emotional and starts crying. Somehow, she regains control over herself and prevents the goddess's power from completely taking over. As everything returns to normal, the entire area around them is destroyed. Seiya holds Sienna and helps her regain consciousness. After waking up, Sienna goes to meet her mother Vendor. Vendor apologizes to her and says that she is sorry because she failed to trust her own daughter. Sienna forgives her mother and uses her healing powers to restore her. Because of this, Vendor no longer needs the cosmo energy of children to survive. Everyone realizes that Sienna has finally gained complete control over her powers, bringing happiness to both mother and daughter. Later, while sitting together, Seiya understands that awakening the goddess means the attention of the ancient gods will soon come toward them. He knows those gods are dangerous and to fight them they will need more knights. They must find new warriors, train them, and prepare for the upcoming war. But before anything else, Seiya still has one final mission left, finding his missing sister. Once he completes that mission, he will finally be ready for the great battle ahead. With this, the film comes to an end.